Deep inside remote caves, far from cities, and hidden from the world for thousands of years, archaeologists uncovered carvings unlike anything they expected. Strange figures, oversized eyes, unusual head shapes, symbols that still divide experts today.
To some researchers, these are sacred artworks created by prehistoric communities. To others, they represent something far more mysterious. Images that resemble beings no human should have seen.
Were these merely artistic imagination? Religious visions? Ancient myths? Or could they represent encounters remembered for thousands of years?
Tonight, we reopen one of archaeology's most controversial mysteries. This is the alien cave carvings case file.
These carvings were not discovered in just one place. Similar mysterious figures appear across different continents, separated by thousands of kilometers, and sometimes by thousands of years.
In Algeria's Tassili, explorers documented enormous figures with perfectly round heads. In Utah, strange barrier canyon figures appear almost weightless. In Australia's Kimberley region, Wandjina paintings continue to inspire debate.
None of these discoveries immediately suggested visitors from another world. Archaeologists initially studied them as expressions of religion, ceremony, and prehistorical culture.
So, how did these ancient artworks become connected with extraterrestrials?
At first glance, these carvings appear no different from thousands of other examples of prehistoric rock art. But look closer, and certain details begin to stand out. Heads far larger than the human body. Perfectly round faces with no visible mouths. Enormous dark eyes. And figures that seem almost suspended in the air.
Some figures appear to wear large circular shapes surrounding their heads. Others seem wrapped in flowing forms, unlike ordinary human clothing. To modern eyes, they can look surprisingly familiar, almost like the image of an astronaut.
But appearances can be misleading. Human beings naturally search for familiar patterns, especially when looking at incomplete images created thousands of years ago.
So why do these images continue to fuel one of archaeology's most controversial debates? To answer that, we must go back to the moment when a completely different theory entered the story.
In 1968, a Swiss author named Erich von Däniken published a book that would change popular culture forever. Chariots of the Gods proposed a bold idea. What if ancient civilizations had been visited by extraterrestrial beings?
Suddenly, carvings that once represented spirits, ancestors, or ritual figures were being interpreted in an entirely different way. Large heads became helmets. Dark eyes became visors. Circular shapes became spacesuits.
The theory spread quickly. Television documentaries, best-selling books, and later, the internet. introduced millions of people to the possibility that these figures recorded encounters with visitors from another world.
But popularity is not evidence. To understand whether this extraordinary claim has scientific support, we need to examine what archaeologists actually found.
Every investigation eventually reaches the same point. Extraordinary claims demand extraordinary evidence. So, what do archaeologists actually see when they study these carvings?
Their conclusion is remarkably consistent. Most researchers believe these figures represent spiritual beings, ceremonial participants, ancestors, or shamans, not visitors from another planet.
Consider the enormous heads. To modern viewers, they resemble helmets. But in prehistoric art, exaggerated proportions were common. Artists often enlarged the most important part of a figure to express status, power, or spirituality.
The same applies to the enormous eyes. Across many ancient cultures, large eyes symbolized awareness, wisdom, or connection with the spiritual world. Similar artistic choices appear thousands of years apart without requiring contact between civilizations.
To archaeologists, these similarities reflect human creativity, shared symbolism, and the universal desire to represent the unseen.
Yet, despite decades of archaeological research, the mystery refuses to disappear. Why?
Part of the answer lies within ourselves. Humans are natural pattern seekers. We search for meaning. We connect distant ideas. Sometimes, those connections reveal important discoveries. Other times, they create convincing illusions.
Another reason is that prehistoric cultures left behind very few written records. We possess the artwork, but rarely the artist's explanation. That silence leaves room for countless interpretations.
Until new evidence emerges, these carvings will continue to inspire debate. Not because science has failed, but because history is rarely complete.
So, after examining every exhibit, what verdict can we honestly reach?
Every investigation eventually reaches the same moment. The evidence must speak for itself. Not television, not internet theories, and not our imagination.
We examined prehistoric cave art, archaeological research, anthropological evidence, and the theory that captured millions of imaginations. Together, they tell a fascinating story. But perhaps not the story many expected.
There is no verified archaeological evidence that these carvings depict extraterrestrial visitors. No ancient inscription describes beings arriving from another planet. No artifact confirms such an encounter. Those conclusions remain speculative.
Yet, dismissing the carvings would also be a mistake. They reveal something extraordinary. The imagination, beliefs, and spiritual world of people who lived
thousands of years before us. And that is remarkable enough.
Sometimes the greatest mystery is not whether aliens visited Earth. It is whether we truly understand the people who came before us.
Across thousands of years, civilizations disappeared. Languages faded. Kingdoms collapsed. Yet these carvings survived, waiting for someone to ask the right questions.